Ready to go, Corey.
Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, you betcha. We're
Beautiful.
ready to rock and roll here.
I am excited. We're live right now?
We are live right now, Corey. You betcha.
Beautiful.
Introduce everyone
Good
yourself.
to see everybody. Thank you, Brody. I'm just going back, checking the comments. Brian Hazel says he unfortunately can't make it tonight. No worries, man. There'll be the replay. We'll have it up in the group, as well as we'll be loading a replay up in our blog. So be able to check it out. If you're subscribed to our newsletter, we'll be sending it out afterwards. So, a quick little bit about tonight. We've got Jeff of SafeCoin coming out, special presentation, special guest. We had a lot of requests about DeFi, decentralized finance. There's a lot of hype and excitement around basically the latest innovation in the space. So it's been quite hot and driving a lot of the price action here that we've seen over these last 9-10 months, right? January, February, we saw that drop mid-February. And since then, we've been on the up and up. So as, a member of our inner circle, our, academy, we're transitioning, pardon my stumbling. But we want to make sure that you're seeing results, staying on top of your crypto platforms or your portfolios. There's speaking of platforms, KuCoin got hacked, so that's why we always say keep your not your keys, not your crypto. Try and move those coin off the exchange if you're not actively trading. If you did get affected, they will be reimbursing, somehow. So just be patient, bear with them. That's why we do work with these reputable exchanges, right? So in the unfortunate event that this does happen, that they do have the funds to cover it and reimburse you, right? They're not going to exit on us. So, or at least, we're minimizing that risk at least. So it unfortunately does happen from time to time, but that's why we protect ourselves and why some of this DeFi is becoming so popular, right? So we've got different platforms where you just plug in your MetaMask wallet or your Trezor and you're directly connected, right? Uniswap is the big one. There's a lot of improvements coming along the lines, but that's something that's really exciting moving forward, not just for myself, but I know a lot of people that are blocked geo-targeted. New York is very restricted, USA in general, but where there's innovation, there's reward. And, that's why this space is so exciting. So we'll be touching on that later on. Obviously, Jeff has his own spin on all that. We've got something that nobody else has, so definitely stay tuned for that. We've also got some training. We've been busting butt behind the scenes, right? I apologize if I haven't been in touch with you as much as I'd like to be. I'm making a point of reaching out to everybody regularly. We want to stay in contact, making sure that you're seeing the results. If I'm bothering you, just let me know or Brody know, and hey, no worries. We get it, right? We're not trying to push you into anything. We just want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your membership with us, right? So another big aspect of what we're moving towards is the charitable causes. So here in Vallarta, we've got the Abandoned Children's Fund going. So I am looking to make a short film with the local leader and a local film crew here. So that'll be coming out. We've got the the BTC address and all that set up. So that's where the half of the 50-50 raffle will be going tonight. Make sure to grab your tickets if you haven't already. Just $5. You can pay with Bitcoin. You can pay with SafeCoin. Save those transaction fees. No limit to the amount of tickets. If you want to spend $50, you can do so. If you want to spend more, go for it. But it's just $5 per raffle ticket. Get your name in there. Brody and I each pitch $25 to get that pot going. Make sure that we're adding a little bit that goes a long ways here in Vallarta. That'll feed, at least 1 or 2 kids for the month, right? So that's we always want to give back. We're always looking for, ways to raise awareness, and it's all about that community, all about giving more than you receive. And that's what we really, want to establish. And, it's the word I'm looking for, nurture inside the community. So that's why I love, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies personally. It's the fastest route to some major solutions that I feel that we can bring, to humanity. It's not just about me or Brody. I say it more often than I probably should. It's not about simple. It's what we stand for. It's what we've built. It's what we've, what we're looking to achieve, about building something truly life-changing for the community, for the people. It's just like Bitcoin, right? By the people, for the people. So if we don't stand up and, build something better, then who is, right? So that's my, passion, my driving force here in Vallarta, why I want to give back. There's a lot of opportunity, but there's a lot of opportunity to give back. There's also a lot of opportunity to grow and make a larger impact, right? So rather than 1 or 2 kids that we're feeding for the month, why not 1 or 200, 1 or 2,000, right? There are millions of hungry kids. There's tons of different solutions we can bring to the table, and this is how we do it. So, Brody, you rocking and ready to roll?
I'm rocking and ready, brother. Finally. I really, really appreciate everyone holding tight. Hopefully, if you're getting the notifications, you're hopping in with us. You really haven't missed much at all. We're going to get things started here. And this is the Simple Wealth Academy Bitcoin online event and raffle, as Corey has explained. And let's just dive right into it.
So, yeah. Kick that slide on over. If you're curious, Brody's on the road. He is living the laptop lifestyle, and one of the downsides to that's not always the most stable internet connection. So pardon us. It's some of those things you can't get away from. Here in Mexico, I'm fairly used to the power going out or whatever. It's typically 15 minutes before the event, right? Mm-hmm. So no worries. But tonight, so we're covering the proven wealth building blueprints, how to position yourself for success. You might have recognized this from what we were going through before, but the simple trifecta to grow your wealth with Bitcoin digital assets, something new that we're bringing to the table, and a direction that we're taking Simple and our community, so that we're sure that you'll enjoy it. So I already talked a little bit about Jeff. But safecoin.org, if you're not familiar with it, definitely check it out. So massive focus on security and privacy. So towards the end, we'll get into some, training, some different strategy, and really, really how to maximize your growth with digital assets before we get into that 50-50 draw. So very excited. Brody, do you want to pipe in before we get rocking and rolling here?
Not a whole lot. Just really appreciate everyone showing up. I just kind of noticed, if you are watching this on your mobile browser, what you can do is often in the top right corner, there's usually an option to click and open this up in Facebook. And then maybe you'll be able to better interact with us while we have the event here. Just if you ended up getting shot to a mobile browser and you're watching this, that's one easy way to get back into your Facebook app and start engaging with us. Or this is live in the Simple Wealth Academy group as well. So just like everyone to be in the right place. If they have a question asked, they can ask it. So that's it.
Beautiful. Before we get started, as you flip slides, Philip, my business partner, long-term bro from across the pond, says LFG, let's effing go. And Eli, great to see you tonight here, buddy. So great to see everyone. Very excited to get going. Apologize for being a little bit late, but we're very excited. And I'm sure you're going to love what we got here for you.
Awesome. Yeah, I think everyone's in here now. There's anyone that has gotten the link is in here now, so we can move forward.
So the simple trifecta to grow your wealth with Bitcoin and digital assets. What is that? You take it from there, Road?
You betcha. So the simple trifecta, it's just when everything works well. And there's lots of different ways that you can grow your wealth with Bitcoin and digital assets. Me and Corey, you've probably heard our story over and over again. We were in definitely not the trifecta. We were in defecta modes with certain types of opportunities, and they weren't the cream of the crop. Some of them weren't even really good at all, and so it's hard to kind of sift through all the different programs and all the different things to figure out, okay, and the different strategies on what's going to be the best way for me to do this. And that's why that was the vision and the reason why we started Simple, is so that we could have some really succinct information for everyone to go through and it'd be effective. So the simple trifecta for us, it's really easy. There's three options to growing your wealth with Bitcoin and digital assets. The first option, buy and hold.
Yep.
Everyone knows this. Go ahead, Corey.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say buy and hold is a simple strategy. The first one that we talk about here is if you're just buying $50 a week or $50 a month, right? So you're just adding up a little bit every so often. Call it dollar cost averaging in, right? Over the course of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you're going to do not so bad, even if it is just $50 a week or $200 a month. That adds up, that compounds, right? So I've been doing that with Safecoin for like 2 years now. I don't sell it, I don't trade it, just keep stacking when it's opportune. And then it gets into some of the other models that we'll discuss here in a second. But that's all I just wanted to touch on quickly, Brody.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a great strategy. I'm not going to skip you. I'll let you talk, Corey. Don't worry. Actively trading. I think this is the one that I always said, no way. There's no way I'm going to start actively trading or become this trader with Bitcoin. I don't have a background. I don't understand it. And really, that was just a lot of limiting beliefs that kept me from really accessing a whole entire market and a whole entire opportunity that is right in front of our fingertips right now. I know with stocks and certain stuff like that, people think that you need like all these years and years of education, but simply getting the right information in your hands and spending a couple weeks on it, you can be right up there with some of the, intermediate to advanced level traders in the world, which is just really incredible. But you have to have good information.
Absolutely. So I always love saying, keep it simple. It's easier than you think. But that's kind of the myth that we're here to, demystify, is really show you how easy it is, right? So not just here to talk the talk. We want to walk the walk and make sure that you're able to replicate those results.
Beauty. Moving along. And yeah, essentially, guys, keep it simple. Buy low, sell high. And obviously, yeah, if you don't know when those times to buy low and sell high, it could be something that is really scary. But when you get insider tips, you get certain things, you get ahead of the game, you get ahead of everyone else that's before this adoption, it's going to be huge, right? So just wanted to add that.
Yeah. So this is my favorite way of earning Bitcoin. And to be honest, it's been my main way of earning Bitcoin, aside from working with altcoins and doing that trading, right, is accepting it for a service. So that's one of the most exciting aspects of Safecoin that I'm looking to implement here in Mexico is the merchant acceptance, right? So you're looking at 3 to 5% charge for a credit card. And most of the people here are small business owners. They're entrepreneurs, right? It's not like there's a lot of government jobs here. It's, you're basically hustling, chicken vendors or whatever, right? So this is a way that they can access, digital payments without needing a terminal, right? Like they're pushing a chicken cart with a rotisserie, it's like wood burning rotisserie, amazing. They don't have, like a point of sale machine kicking around or, any of that, right? So they can use their phone for this kind of stuff. That's what we're really excited about, so things are coming along nicely. Obviously, we've got a ways to go, but this is honestly, I think, the way of the future, right? So you scan a QR code just like this, hold up your phone, scan the code, send payment, you're done, right? With SafeCoin, it's a matter of, fractions of a second to, get that confirmation, that first confirmation, you're good to go. Whereas Bitcoin, you're waiting a little bit longer. It takes you longer to put in your 4-digit PIN when you're, doing your credit card payment than it is to do this. So it's the obvious solution, or the obvious next transition, getting rid of those plastic cards and moving towards a one, solution, which is your phone already, So yeah, that's all I want to touch on. Brody, you want to add anything?
That's great. No, I think that's great. I think everyone understands that completely. If you have a business, just start accepting Bitcoin. It's a great way to start growing and investing without having to add really anything extra anyways. So
Absolutely.
boom. And yeah, our special guest for tonight, Corey, if you'd like to introduce Jeff, and I'll go and get him in here.
Beautiful. So yeah, Jeff and I started chatting about crypto, I think 2 years ago. Maybe you can clarify. It's been a blur for me, Jeff, once you get in here, obviously. But yeah, so I've just been honestly amazed by the dedication, the commitment. Like, this guy works harder than anybody I know, and I know some serious hustlers, right? So come a long ways. The technology is absolutely amazing. So if you're not familiar with it, the match protocol adds second, I believe, and third layers. I'll let you clarify that, Jeff, of
Awesome.
security on top of the Bitcoin network. So not only are you benefiting from Bitcoin's security, but a second and I believe a third layer on top of that, making it arguably the most secure blockchain on the planet.
Sweet. So without further ado, introducing Jeff from SafeCoin.
Hey.
Great to meet you. Good to see you guys, fine gentlemen. Apparently I have a Halloween background now. I don't know what happened. The sun just dropped down in the last 30 seconds.
That's Nanaimo for you, right?
Yeah, I'm in Nanaimo right now, and it just happened. I talked to these guys 30 seconds ago, and I had lots of light. Now I don't.
No worries. Oh, we can see you good. It's just a nice, healthy glow. It looks like you got some the great
It's
skin.
Yeah, it's a big, healthy glow. That's what it is.
Awesome. So, I was talking to you a bit about, smart contracts, DeFi. Really, I just want to let you introduce yourself and, take it from there. I don't need to, hold the reins per se, just what the improvements you're making in the space. Maybe start with your story, like what brought you to crypto, what, drives that passion.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on, for starters, and that is one of the main drivers for me getting into crypto. But no, I've been interested in crypto since 2011 when I first found out about it. Bought some in 2013, and it went from $100 to $900. And
Nice.
I thought, I am a genius, and I sold it all and laughed hard. So that's how I got into crypto.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey,
But I stayed. Yeah. Go ahead, Corey.
I was just saying that's amazing. Like, you got in early, coming along, seeing. It's just the 3.5 years I've been in crypto has just been mind shattering. I couldn't imagine, when you first started with some of those. Like, how'd you buy Bitcoin? What was that was just after Mt. Gox?
I bought it twice. Once I bought it on Bitstamp. Bitstamp used to allow Canadians before everything got clamped down. And I bought it on something called Satoshi's Vault, which was another large exchange, which eventually got shut down. Never got hacked, but did get shut down. So, yeah.
Hey.
So, yeah.
And
just been really interested in the technology ever since.
Beautiful. So
Corey, I know you wanted me to talk about DeFi. Do you want me to talk about DeFi?
If you
I can't actually pronounce it.
I was going to say
I can talk about it.
Decentralized finance. There are a basic understanding. Maybe you just give, for our newer users, a breakdown of why it's exciting to the space, and then what SafeCoin can do differently. or improve upon, I should say, and not just differently.
Sure, I think it's the promise that's exciting. What we're seeing right now, we're just monitoring it and trying to understand it better. So I'm going to try to describe a little bit about what's going on right now, which like a lot of things in crypto is 50% hope and promise and 50% shady. And so I think the best way to kind of describe what happened, you mentioned the BitMEX hack.
Coin, but
sorry, yeah, I'm
the,
sorry, the KU coin hack. Sorry, I meant I was going to say BitMEX. You didn't mention BitMEX. I'm sorry. So the BitMEX recently got attacked by U.S. regulators.
Yeah.
And there was an arrest, and there's some outstanding warrants, and they're just having a lot of fun right now. So that actually has a lot to do with Uniswap. So Uniswap is kind of advertised right now as a purely decentralized system where you're literally always in control of your keys, and which is a great feature to be able to be in control of your keys and high liquidity, and those are all great things. They're somewhat true and somewhat not. I mean, like a lot of things, there's a lot of half truths. It is probably one of the more promising things we've seen in a while, I think. Is it fully decentralized? No, it is absolutely not. It is centralized, and it is controlled by Binance, which not a lot of people know.
I did not know that either.
No, Binance is not telling anyone. But if you look it up, they have what they call governance tokens. Now, if you hold enough to governance tokens, you essentially have admin rights on Uniswap. And
makes
all
sense.
of the governance tokens are owned by Binance.
Oh, jeez.
So so everything I said up till now, I know that I know, and then everything I'm going to say after this is speculation.
Interesting.
It's presumed that what's going on is, Binance has known about that BitMEX issue for 2 years now. I mean, the feds have been trying to take out BitMEX for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, there's been efforts by the large players to not go to jail. And Uniswap may be a way for them to do that. So they're kind of, I believe, I mean, this is speculation, but I believe they're probably hedging their bets and looking for a way to do large volume exchange in a way that's too hard for regulators to crack down on.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So that's kind of my spin on that, but you guys feel free to take your own opinions on it, but definitely look that up. Look up the Uniswap treasury tokens, and you'll find a whole bunch of pages about Binance. And it's interesting. But anyway, so I mean, really what Uniswap is it is an attempt to do a very decentralized order book. And they do that. Now, the problem with decentralized order books is they are slow and difficult for active traders, and they're often highly illiquid. So they've gotten around that using a formula, which basically the essence of the formula is shit or get off the pot. So basically, when you enter the Uniswap market, there's going to be a trade. And it may not be the exact price that you asked for, but you are going to there's going to be a trade. Yeah. And so by forcing that, they're allowed to have much higher volumes, much higher liquidity, and ultimately have much higher interest levels. Pretty soon you guys won't be able to see me at all. And basically that's what we're seeing. And there's a lot of good. So like I'm giving you guys the full everything I know about it at this point, and I'm still researching a ton, like the rest, like everybody else, because it's so new.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of great things about it. The idea of being able to run an entire order book on the Ethereum chain. It's not the first attempt. So we are, Safecoin's a fork of Komodo, and we also have the ability to run an order book on Safecoin, as do other asset chains of Komodo. So we have that ability, and it is on our roadmap to implement that at some point, and we are kind of watching the situation to see how it unfolds. But we can do a lot of the same things, and we're trying to see how it can be done better. I mean, one of the big problems with Uniswap is, of course, the fees. Ethereum is a little bit of a bloated beast, and probably not the future of this kind of thing unless they can find a way to make it more scalable. So I think a lot of people right now are looking at scalability, ways to be able to do volumes like this, or higher volumes in a scalable means which doesn't have massive fees. So that's something we're looking at with Safecoin. There are other coins doing it. Definitely, we're one of the few that's actually set up to do it properly. It's one of our many features. We have a better backbone too, though. We are set up in a way, like you mentioned, with our match protocol, where we are double spend proof. I know you can't even see me at all right now, can you?
No, I was just saying, like, I really want to curve this in towards safe nodes, just because we were talking about the buy and hold before. I alluded to, find out a little bit more. Well, I'm earning, payouts every single day by staking my Safecoin, and I have been for a long time. So that's just, why I was giggling.
Well, and the safe nodes are central to our match protocol, which basically protects our notarization. So what that does is it prevents double spending on our chain. Now, if you are going to have a blockchain run an order book, or lots of order books, you do not want that blockchain to be double spent, ever. Because awful things would happen if it did. So that in the last couple of years, that's been one of our big focuses, is getting to that point. And we are at that point now, and we're still developing it further, but we are pretty much double spend proof at this point for our size, and we're continuing to improve that. And the safe nodes really are central to that, and will be even more central in the future. Now, the safe nodes could also eventually play a role potentially in future order books. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Corey. So you can actually get a safe node, run a safe node, and be rewarded for running one. And we intend, as we start to develop forms of utility, we want to use that on the safe nodes. So as we find ways to actually do what they call useful work, which could generate revenue, we would want that to run on the safe nodes. And people would get rewarded for running them. So
beautiful. Yeah. So for those of you that haven't been paying super close attention, I think Ethereum Classic would be the best example of a 51% attack lately. That's 3 in 1 month. Wasn't that just a little while back, Jeff?
Yeah. So Ethereum Classic was actually created from an attack. So it wasn't a double spend, but Ethereum was once attacked, and it was their premise that the attack was fair and they should not fix it. So they created a coin based off that, and then proceeded to get attacked and attacked and attacked, which is tricky because their whole premise is attacks are okay. Anyway, they've struggled with that, and now it's a very cool ideology, which is basically, their response to that would be code is law. So they believe the code is law, and if you can break the code, it's your money. That's their thoughts on that. So anyway, a lot of people have broken their chain, and they're somebody who would definitely be in need of a technology that we have. So we have spoken with them. I don't know if they'll end up using us or not in the future, but I think they should look at some means of protecting their chain a little bit more. And there's a whole bunch of other blockchains which are at risk at various times. I am aware of some chains right now. I won't say which ones, but there are some major chains right now which are at considerable risk, and we're always watching that.
I
And SafeCoin is
saw.
never going to be one of them.
That's beautiful. I saw an estimate. I can't remember the exact dollar figures, but it was the amount that it would cost somebody for a 51% attack on these other blockchains, and it was surprisingly low, like on Bitcoin Cash and some of these larger coins, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to become like massive demand for it in the space, that protection, right? So before we go too far, for those that are either already running a safe node, I know there's a couple, not just myself, in the community, but what are some other benefits that are potentially coming down the line that the team's been discussing? If you can divulge, no worries if not. I know you can't give all the goods away, but curious.
Oh, well, again, we are definitely looking at on-chain exchange. That is a roadmap item. And we are still kind of assessing the waters right now in terms of where we think things will head with decentralized exchanges.
So the on-chain exchange, if you don't mind just diving into that a little bit.
A decentralized exchange?
It would be a fully decentralized. Is that the one that we were talking about tying into SafePay? I'm not sure if I'm...
Oh, yes. So, well, we do have SafePay as well. And SafePay right now ties in very well with SafeCoin. You can do a lot with it. Interacting with SafeCoin and some of the other coins we have on there. But we will eventually be tying SafePay into payment gateways and exchanges as well, specifically SafeTrade. So SafePay, we want that to become basically a full e-commerce solution, which functions as a payment gateway both for merchant and client. And the safe nodes may have a role in that. We will see how things go there. We think we're very far ahead of other projects in terms of our technology. The SafePay wallet is quite advanced. It has a lot of advanced multi-sig features, which most wallets don't have. It is, of course, it's your wallet. Like when you set up an account on SafePay, for instance, on your phone, that coinage really is on your phone. It's not on a server somewhere. And so when you guys look for a wallet, even if it is a mobile wallet, that should be the first thing you look for. Is what they say is, where are my keys, which is essentially where's my funds. Wherever your keys are, that's where your money is. And we have a saying, not your keys, not your crypto. So that means as soon as you deposit onto a centralized exchange, that is no longer your money. You are just hoping that the centralized exchange gives it back to you. So always look for a wallet which lets you keep control of your own keys. SafePay has that, and it has the ability to lock it up in ways where if you lost your phone or if your phone was stolen and somebody got into your wallet, depending on how you set it up, they would not be able to take your money. So it's much more advanced that way. And I would say probably one of the nicer looking, easier to use wallets.
I would definitely agree with that too. We've had a lot of really good feedback. The seed phrase is a little bit of a, speed bump for new users, but once they realize the difference, then it's hands down, right? For that extra 3 to 5 seconds, well, maybe 15 seconds it takes to write it down, you're safe. Like you got that security, right? So there was, I think it was IM token I was using before, and it's to your phone. If you lose that phone, your coin is gone. right? So that's a massive, massive benefit. So we're obviously underutilizing SafePay. I run my Safe node from my SafePay wallet, it's a couple bucks a month, but no big deal. And yeah, we'll have to do like a training or a more in-depth, not necessarily examination, but really do a deep dive into SafePay sometime. I know we've got a lot of things to cover, not necessarily tonight, but yeah, definitely interested in learning more. And I know a lot of the
Happy
community
to do it.
are excited to be able to trade, their coin right from their SafePay wallet through to another coin, right? It's a large demand, and there's other wallets out there. It's just not feasible with the fees, right? So it's I'm very excited to see how that comes out. But yeah, as far as the match protocol, is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we move forward?
I'll keep it short. It is basically the full release of the match protocol is our next release. I'm thinking it's probably a couple of months out. And at that point, I think we will probably release it with a paper fully explaining all components and showing how it is entirely decentralized and having protocol in play. We're calling the release the match protocol. So there will be a protocol where any other project can basically link onto it and use it if they choose. So yeah, that will be our next release. We're already protected by it now, but it's going to be more within reach of everyone in the next release.
Awesome. So we do have a couple of questions here. We got William Pike asking, what would you say sets you apart from the other competitors?
We're safer.
Safer? Straight to the chase.
There's a lot of great projects out there. There's also a lot of projects that are not great. I don't want to say that we're better than certain projects. Like I believe, like my personal belief is that crypto is just in its infancy, and there's going to be an unbelievable amount of growth and development and innovation and discovery in this field. So I think we're going to see it just explode with diversity. All I can say is that we have our foundation covered. We start with safety and security, and then we build on top of that all the features and the great things that people want. And that's something you should look at for in any project you're willing to invest in.
That's what makes Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
That's absolutely huge. I mean, I'm a bit of a speculator, so I know that some of our community is interested for other reasons than just the technology. But as an investor, not just the foundation, but the other smaller market or a smaller total supply. So with the safe nodes and the staking, comparing to other projects, the projects that stake typically rise in value of the coin because you're restricting the supply, right? It's lower supply, lower available supply, and the amazing technology, the amazing advancements driving the demand typically drives the price too, right? So
there's absolutely
just so many benefits. Like, very excited, just absolutely blessed to be working closely with you, Jeff. I mean, I see amazing things already happening. You've already done some incredible things. The team's doing amazing things. Then what we can achieve in the future is just, there's a reason, Philip's watching, we laugh and joke, hashtag team no sleep. That's just excited up at 4 a.m. I know you're the same way. It seems like I've seen you work until 4 or 5 a.m., sleep for a few hours, go to your work, and then get home and start working on the upgrades again. So that dedication, right? Like, we just had a massive bear market. Those teams that weren't dedicated fell off, right? There's no slowing down.
There's no slowing down at all. You're right.
Savecoin just picked it up and started taking it to whole new levels. So that's a big.
Likewise, yeah, Corey, I just want to say I love what you've been doing for the space as well. So, I mean, you are extremely hard worker and just like a fantastic promoter of crypto. So, thanks
I
for
really
that.
appreciate that.
And also, just for any other questions, it's just another thing you really want to look for in any kind of project you consider investing in is make sure that the developer in any video is barely visible and in a dimly lit room.
I don't know too many developers that like the sunlight, to be honest. Definitely more night shift mode for sure.
That's right.
But I don't want to take up your whole night, Jeff. But if there's no other questions, I mean, we got to get you coming back. I know there's going to be repeat. You know, once a month might not be enough to keep up with all the updates and all the hard work, but it's always just a pleasure. Brody, you want to jump in or say anything? I know I've been going off, but
I just wanted to mention you sounded great throughout the whole interview here, Jeff, and your value is just like really, really appreciated here at Simple. And I'm seeing the chat and people going off. I think this is a topic that doesn't get enough light shed on it, but it protect and secure all this wealth as they build it and grow it. So yeah, I'm super stoked, and maybe we can niche in on a different topic next time and maybe get you in some little bit better light. But I think it was great. I didn't, but that's a funny joke too. The dimly lit room, but yeah,
really great to meet you.
Really appreciate you, Jeff.
Yeah, and I mean everybody in the community.
Awesome.
If you haven't learned about Safecoin already, definitely check them out. Safecoin.org. So, if you got any questions, you know I've got all the training videos and everything done. We're very excited to move forward. And is there any final words before we let you go, Jeff?
Oh, just thank you very much for having me, both of you. It's great to meet you, Brody, and as always, Corey, you're amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take care. Keep up the great work. And we're excited to see you here next time. I'll be in touch in the community, obviously. Everyone, Discord as well. I'll grab the Discord link if you want to jump in. That's where all the magic happens. So we'll get you hooked up with the Discord link as well here.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Awesome. Sweet. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Till next time.
Beautiful. So let's
great.
Get into some
let us know how everyone let us know if you enjoyed Jeff there. Let us know in the comments for sure. If you want more stuff like that and more guests like that, let us know. Like this video, and tell your friends about the Simple and the Simple Wealth Education group that we have here, and so you guys can get access to this, because this is an exclusive members only event. This isn't just posted publicly everywhere on Facebook. So know that this is really a really exclusive value for you, and the only way for us to learn other ways on how that all works. But let's dive in more into the training here that we have prepared.
Yeah. So a big question that I've been getting asked lately is
there we go.
A big question I've been getting asked lately is really, what am I doing in between trades? How am I maximizing my growth? And that kind of comes back to our trifecta, right? So, if you're very passionate, you want to help share the world or share the word, you can become an affiliate, or a team builder, we call it. There's many different names. Basically, you work shoulder and shoulder with Brody and I. We can get you a link. You can earn a little bit of commissions. It's really a win-win. So technically, you are a small business owner as an affiliate, and reap the benefits that come with that. If you're interested in more trading, then that's a route as well. I love trading. That's the bulk of my income. I'm never shy to admit that. Right? But it can be boring during those sideways markets. That's when, we're getting those percentage per day earners coming through, those projects that give crypto a bad name, right? And that's when they get people, is when things are going sideways. So I
I just wanted to add a little bit there too, Corey, where it's just like we're both lots of us in this group, we're actual personal users of the product of Bitcoin and blockchain technologies and everything like that. We're actively spending hours and hours and hours. Yeah, exactly. Out of our weeks, like, you know, spending extra time educating ourselves and positioning ourselves for this huge transfer of wealth that's happening right now. Why not take some of that education, take some of that value that you've created in yourself and start sharing it with others? And that's what providing more service to others does. And if you've ever read any personal development book or anything on that trail, your influence is just all determined by the amount of service and the amount that you can help people. And if you're already interested in Bitcoin and blockchain, it's just a great pairing. You know, I come from a background where there's team building and sales and all these different quotas and all this stuff. That's not what we're trying to say here. That's exactly the opposite, because there's actually it's created for people that want to do that, but it's also created for people that want to stay exactly clear of that entirely, right? Because some people like referrals, some people like building teams and the excitement that's involved with that, and I got nothing against that too, right? But I think where people more importantly start off, and so yeah, I'll just kind of share it from my own story, right? Like I didn't feel like comfortable sharing Bitcoin and trading and certain things like that until I had figured it out for myself. And so the first thing that a person needs to do is start educating themselves so that they can, you know, put some proof to the pudding, walk the walk. And these are some of the resources that we've been using to actually increase our time and financial freedom. And there's lots of other resources that we've been diving into over the years, but this just getting this alone, a beginner trading course, an intermediate trading course, an advanced trading course, and just educating yourself on the base level of when to get in and when to get out of certain types of investments, the top 40 investments right now in cryptocurrency, is a huge, huge game changer for some. And that doesn't involve bugging your grandma, bugging your neighbor down the road, bugging your friends about it. You can do this by yourself, learn, educate yourself, even in as quick as a couple of weeks. If you have the extra hour to spend each night, and you can take your whole outlook on how you generate wealth and how you go about your life just by educating yourself with something as simple as crypto trading. And I didn't think it was going to be that easy until I just started educating myself. And then I really started surprising myself at what I could do once I had the proper education, and then you kind of kick yourself. You're like, man, I should have learned this a little earlier. Why was I so skeptical? Why was I so hesitant of it all? And it's not like you need to have a ton to invest. You know, me and Corey personally both come from programs where there was $10,000 price tags just to get started. And there was no guarantees after that. It's not like, and that, for better or worse reasons, it pushed us into go into other avenues, things like Bitcoin, where you can start with as little as $20 or less, like, you know, depending on where you're at. But anyone can put aside a couple $100 a paycheck and start investing that into their future so that they can gain back more time and financial freedom. Even some of these resources like that are only a couple $100. So really, unless you're in some really dire situations, which we try and help that through our simple charities and things like that for people that are in situations like that. But for everyone else, you know, go get a freaking 9-to-5 job for the next 2-3 months, get some extra cash coming in, and you'd surprise yourself once you educated yourself. You could be in a totally different location.
It's totally worth it, right? Just adding that little bit extra every single day, that extra 5%, that extra 10%, right? You know, if you are able to make an extra $20, like Brody and I will even show you how. If you don't want to get a 9-to-5, I'll show you how to make an extra $20. That's what we were saying worked alongside with us a day, right? That's $140 a week, $280 every 2 weeks, $560 a month, right? 3 months of that, you're looking at a couple grand, plus you can compound that and still be trading. Not really, like, think of taking night classes or an additional training. I spent tens of thousands of dollars. I got a third-class power engineering background, half my second, that I'm not utilizing, right? So it's not just about the money. It's how you live your life, how you position your life. You know, we bring the intro course, we try and give you everything you need for free, but at the end of the day, you need to take action. You need to make, that's why, we're not trying to charge anyone for anything. I give out coupon codes as much as I possibly can, just to help incentivize people to take action, to ask questions, to engage, right? It's not about the money for me. It's about making that impact. I love working with people, right? I love working with Brody, grinding it out, coming up with solutions. But at the end of the day, that intro course will only take you so far, right? I was trading for 3 years before I got into the day trading with To Know It here. And I knew right away that I needed that advanced course. I needed that, that intermediate training. Even the beginner had some nice, add-ons, and I do this all day every day, right? So it's a great step. It's not just the training, but it's the additional guidance that they provide. They got weekly Zoom calls, weekly or monthly. I'm pretty sure weekly for each, right? Beginner, intermediate, and advanced, right? So once you have, say, you got the intro course, you got set up, you're buying a little bit of Bitcoin, buying a little bit of altcoin, once you have earned some great profits, that's where we say, hey, look, you want to look at Marius for the long-term trading, $50 a month. Once you've got $300 to $500, it makes absolute sense, because the amount you're going to earn with him is going to pay for the subscription and then some, right? So a 3-month subscription, most people that I work with pay that off in 9 to 19 days with $300 to $500 trading, right? So you got 6 weeks of profits after that. Yeah, there's some sideways months, not very many. Typically, it's 1 month per uptrend, downtrend, 21-day cycles. You can see the results for yourself, right? Over 1.7 million report downloads, 65 countries.
Well, yeah, Corey, let's even just explain what they're looking at here. So what you're looking at here is the results from the long-term trade reports with Marius Ladman in the To Know It program. And so the previous slide that we showed you is you building your foundation. It's like almost like you going to trading 101, or if you went to university and there was a blockchain and Bitcoin class, those would be the classes you'd sign up to first. And then once you're there and now you've gotten your certificate, you're back out, now you need to find the good information. You need to find what's really going to show you when to buy in low and when to sell off high. I don't even really pride myself on like this big technical analysis, crazy day trade or anything. I make about 2 trades on the max every week, and on the minimum, maybe 1 trade a month sometimes. And all I look at is the best times to get in on the low and the best times to get off. And on average, some of these coins that we pulled do an average of 55%. That's just really being conservative. They sometimes go more, and sometimes me and Corey talk about kicking ourselves where we're like, man, should have stuck in that trade a little longer. But hey, 55% in a couple months, you guys, like if you guys know anything about traditional investing, it's anywhere from 2 to 5% on the low and 5 to 7, 8% if you're putting your money into an index mutual fund, which indexes your investment over the top 500 stocks in any given stock exchange at one time. That's over a year. We're seeing, so it doesn't even compare. And I know William had asked, what's the average returns following the plan? We can't really guarantee or promise anything personally, but you can take a look at these reports and you can see for yourself that they're very accurate. And with a strong foundation, you can see some incredible gains. And I know that might seem a little vague or whatever, but I can't really just like give financial advice on here, and I can't really guarantee you anything. But one thing I can guarantee is if you get educated and you start following these reports, you're gonna start like, it's like what is the word I'm looking for, Corey? Here, it's just like expansion, growth, multiplication, maximizing your growth,
compounding. Yeah. But really, like, that's where you want to keep it simple. It's easier than you think, right? So the reports are reports. It's that's that time with Marius. You are who you surround yourself with. You're migrating to us to find out some of the crypto. Why would you want to learn through me on Marius, instead of just directly with Marius? And I can speak exactly what we're experiencing. I've crunched the numbers. I've done the math. 40 to 80% per month consistently for the last 2.5 years for me. Sometimes you've got 2 months that are straight sideways, or you take a loss in that third month, but the fourth and the fifth, you might make 400 to 500%, like we saw with Litecoin last year. I made most of my gains in 1 month or 6 weeks, right? Rest of the year was, tricky trading. This is the exact, prime example of, just buy and hold strategy. I mean, still 27% up in what, a week, or what's that? 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 24 days, Brody.
24 days. Yeah, that's so less than a month,
Yeah, lately we've been killing it. I mean, I had just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, well, it was 120%. I did 80% with Theta before moving it into, what was it, OMG, and made 35% that weekend. Marius was bang on that call. And we had some of these other, I'm pulling profits from Zill into Link and then making 25. We're up 35% with some of those Link moves. And that was just in, a few days. So it's tough to go back and track. I do accommodate for my losses too. Like, I did not come out of COVID crash unscathed. I took a 25% hit, right? But if buy and hold, or just holding it through, you would have taken a 60% hit, right? And then I made 35% in the first 9 minutes on the rebound. Not my whole portfolio, but it was a pretty good, recovery. I was back into profits, and, I pay my rent and all my bills with my trading. I basically volunteer. I love what I do, don't get me wrong, but I volunteer 85% of my time, doing calls, trainings, building businesses. They're not paying me directly. I own the businesses, don't get me wrong. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world, but I don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay my rent, right? I can sacrifice that time. I can invest that time, I should say, into the things that really matter. And that's, what we're building here at Simple. I don't want to rant for too long.
It is. We want to educate people, but it's also about creating a lifestyle that you really desire and you deserve as well too. And that's what's possible with some of these applications and these tools and strategies. So, and just touching on, like, you're never going to get in on the absolute low and you're never going to get off at the absolute high. And a lot of what Marius says is that's not the way you do things, because a lot of people are waiting for that absolute top and they get burnt. A lot of people are waiting for that absolute bottom and it rebounds and they don't catch in and they don't get in. So it's about doing this in a conservative approach so that you can make consistent gains over the long term. I'm sure. Yeah. And really, honestly, we are both the facilitators, co-founders of this community and the Simple Online Wealth Education company. So you're probably thinking, well, yeah, this is in their best interest to say this, but it's not just us experiencing these results. There's other people experiencing this time and time over again, just within our circle, but also within the program of To Know It in the reports. There's thousands of testimonials now of people that have seen success. And we're worldwide. I mean, there's people in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Johannesburg, like places that I didn't even think people had access to certain things like that. And another great point is some of these people don't actually have access to a bank account in some of these locations. And Bitcoin is their main source of being able to pay and trade and do commerce with each other. So it's really cool what's happening around the world, because where banks and other places didn't really provide the solution, blockchain and Bitcoin and other different cryptocurrencies are providing that as well. So Jay says, hey, that's my testimonial. That's awesome, Jay. Thanks for being on the call with us right now.
Blur the names out for privacy, but yeah, big shout out, brother. And Jay's one of the guys that, just put in the work, put in the effort, and like great things happen. So he's down in Puerto Vallarta here. We're looking to plan some events. We're looking to have some fun here, a couple of fiestas just to really shake things up and bring some value. So that's, big shout out. Great job. Put the hustle in and great things happen. Just like all good things, you get what you put into this. So if you put in that extra 10, 20, 30% effort, or 80, if you're a real hustler, magic things happen, right? So
yeah, No, and that's just a true testament. Someone that started off, had no idea what this was, started implementing themselves, and now is seeing consistent results and gets to live the life, that a lot of people like don't even think is possible. Like they dream of it. Well, stop thinking or stop wishing to create your dream, or stop wishing and start creating your dream right now. And one of the simplest ways we know how is through our programs and our basically our resources and our tools. So if you want to learn more about this and how this all works, you guys can go to sowe.co.in/trading, and I'll drop that link in the chat right now too. And maybe Corey, you wanted to touch on that a little bit too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually where we're looking to really give you that little bit extra. So I've been getting a lot of people asking me like, hey man, can I, fly down, come hang out with you and learn, what the life is? Well, we can't quite do that quite yet. We're definitely looking into how making that a little bit more feasible. But for right now, you're able to spend a little bit more time with Brody and I one-on-one. We've got what we're calling the elite group. So that's where you're able to sit down with us. We spend time going through strategy, making sure you have everything you need, going through the reports. We've got the WhatsApp group so that we can spend more one-on-one time together, as well as making sure that, if you want to bounce some ideas off of us and say, hey, it's not quite making sense, or maybe you want to have a little bit more in-depth discussion about the the reports, how you're making the trades, just spend that little extra time with us. We can do that, right? So we're a little bit more prepared. That's why we transitioned to the new system. That way we can make sure that you're getting that additional value, right? Not everybody needs additional value. We're trying to keep things cost effective, right? We know what it's like trying to get started, and there are costs to growth. But this is our way of giving back and making sure that you're fully prepared. So, yeah, did I miss anything there, Brody?
Well, I do have something, a surprise for everyone on the call tonight. And basically as an appreciation for all the exclusive members, I know this last year we've made a lot of different changes and we've been doing lots of improvements, but this is kind of like a token of our appreciation. We wanted to give everyone within watching the live or the post-recorded version 50% off any of our courses or the elite package right now. And knowing that the elite package, you guys, is for people that want more one-on-one. They want to get set up and get rolling as quick and as fast as possible. And you have us basically right there walking you through every step of the way. And a lot of our other programs, it's us walking you every step of the way, but it's through digitized courses, which is for us, and it gives us the ability to automate us and get us out there to more people, because we only have so much time throughout the day. But for the people that do want the one-on-one, there are options available for you, and it will be 50% off with this coupon. So
absolutely. So it's again, we're not here to make money, but we're expanding the community, where we're giving back to some of charity groups, and really trying to bring more value to you as a valued member. We want to make sure that we're giving you our time. We're prioritizing you over our other businesses, over our other clients, and we want to make sure that you're feeling the love, right? So 50% off is the least that we could do. I'm not here to make money, but hey, that's an easy decision, right? So we make sure to 10x that value at all times. Same as the membership for $9 that we're bringing 500 to $1,000 worth of value. So it's there if you want it. If not, no worries. We're bringing more events, more guest speakers, and really taking things to the next level here. So are working with actively working with Marius and the team, Ujoki especially, to start bringing more events, more value, more contests, and more fun. But yeah, Brody, was there anything you wanted to touch on before we move forward?
Nope, just yeah, I really appreciate everyone that stuck with us, and yeah, take advantage of this right now. If you haven't grabbed the intro course, or if you're still having trouble and you're still finding that things are confusing, the elite course is for you, and it's 50% off right now, and it's not going to break the bank. We've structured everything so that it's reasonable, and because literally this is just to make sure that we're not sacrificing our time completely. So yeah.
Absolutely.
What was that, Corey? So yeah,
Uh,
and
Go ahead.
yeah, just finishing up here. So yeah, just really, really appreciate everyone that's been with us and take advantage of these resources right now. I know for myself, I stayed on the fence for a long time. I was a little bit skeptical. I waited a lot of years before I pulled the trigger on a lot of this stuff. And now I've got student loan debt. I've got all these other certain types of things that I've got to deal with when really I could have just started doing this a lot earlier. But it took all of that to get to here. Plus, I get to help everyone here, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love what I do. So we've got
Absolutely.
one more exciting thing before everyone goes tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get any raffle tickets. We did just finish that site up, and it's understandable. So no worries there. We'll roll it into the next months. We'll be more prepared. We were a little rushed getting the website down so you could pay with Bitcoin. It seemed ridiculous trying to get things through the Eventbrite, paying with credit card, and then we're trying to convert it and pay people out. It was just messy. So we did take a little bit longer getting this set up, unfortunately, but absolutely, we will make sure to get people more involved moving forward here. We're definitely bringing the heat, bringing more value, and bringing the excitement. So if you have any other questions, definitely drop them in the chat right now. Otherwise, we will let you go for tonight. We are rolling in about an hour, little over an hour here. So it's yeah, it's been great. You know, if you need any clarification, anything really, we've got some very exciting news coming down the line. But I'm keeping it a little closer to the chest for now until we're more prepared. But definitely bringing some interesting players to the table. So if you haven't already, you can check out our cause page. But it's just SoCoin/cause. But yeah, that's where we'll be raising the funds. Fully transparent Bitcoin address. You know, we're coming up with the YouTube or the video series. We've got a TV crew out of Puerto Vallarta here, so we'll be filming, you know, raising as much awareness as we can for these abandoned children, and you know, putting the work in too. I'm not just, you know, here to look pretty. We're looking to actually go and build the shelters and pick up, you know, the clothes and, you know, provide that service, right? So every, you know, the 50/50 does go towards that cause. You know, it is a great cause. You know, we'll see them firsthand. And you can even fly down, come give a hand if you want. You know, we're looking to do this in more than one country, more than one location, and definitely not just the, you know, this won't be the last, right? So, yeah, Brody, if you don't have anything else,
I just wanted to let everyone update it. Like you guys know, we do this in our spare time. The link I dropped, sow.co.trading, links you to the elite checkout. So if you want to get into the elite package, do that. I'm going to drop a link right now for the to know it information. If you still haven't pulled the trigger on to know it, go through that link, grab our starter pack. It's absolutely free, and you'll get educated. You'll get informed on what that all entails before you ever have to pull the trigger or have to pull out your wallet or anything like that, right? So check out that information. It's invaluable. It's literally accessible by virtually anyone that's in Canada or United States, so, or all around the world. All I'm saying is, like, any Joe Blow with any type of background or experience can jump into that and start educating themselves and getting into massive, massive results. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that for everyone watching live and post-recorded.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. We're changing links and transitioning everything over. So that one was one that didn't quite make sense, but we'll get her fixed. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming out. It's always a pleasure. We love having you. You know, this community is why I get out of bed in the morning, right? So very excited. Hey, thanks for coming out. We will have another special guest speaker next month on the 15th. If you have requests, any questions, whatever, shoot us a message, Facebook Messenger. Some of you are in the WhatsApp group. And if not, I'll see you inside the community. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night and keep stacking them sats.
See you later, everyone. Thanks again.